I help coaches get to $5,000 a month, and there's 7 mistakes I constantly see them make that is ruining their progress. If you make these mistakes, your business will fail no matter how hard you try. But after today, you'll know better, you won't make these same mistakes, and you'll be ready to launch and scale your business to thousands of dollars a month. The cause of these mistakes are people's own limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are things that we tell ourselves and we start to believe that stop us from making progress. And 99.9% of the time, these beliefs aren't actually true. They're just things we tell ourselves that we convince ourselves are true, and they really just stop us from being able to do the things that are going to make us successful. And the reason for this is that beliefs shape our reality, because beliefs shape our mind, and our mind shapes our actions. So when our actions, which are our inputs, the things we do are our inputs, and our actions or inputs affect our reality or outputs. So our limiting beliefs affect our core beliefs about what's possible, and because our core beliefs of what's possible are affected, that shapes our actions. We want to act in a way that is aligned with our beliefs. So if we believe that it's not possible to have a 6-figure coaching business, we are not going to do the things that allow us to build a 6-figure coaching business. And this is usually the first step that I go through with my clients, is addressing their limiting beliefs and helping them understand why it isn't true. So we want to, we want to erase our limiting beliefs, and we want to reinforce actions that will create the reality we really want. Okay? So these 7 mistakes generally come from people's limiting beliefs. And I'm going to address each one so you can stop believing them and start doing the things that are going to build you an amazing business and build your dream life. Now, the first mistake and limiting belief that people tell themselves is that I'm not an expert. They say, I'm not an expert, so why would anyone listen to me? But the truth is, you don't need to be an expert to become an online coach. If you have a desire to help people, you can do that. When you start out, there might be coaches in the same niche. Let's say you're in the fitness niche, and you're a pretty jacked person who helps other people build muscle. There's some proof right there. Now, there might be other people with a PhD in fitness and muscle training and who are even more jacked and have 6 or 7 years of coaching experience. And that is usually enough to intimidate people and make people have that limiting belief that why would anyone work with me when there's these other people out there? But the truth is, these other people might be at a level 9. Let's say you start off at a level 1. That's when you're skinny or you don't have muscle. And maybe you're at like a level 5. You've been learning on your own for a while. You've clearly been going to the gym. You've been able to build muscle, and you understand how to get people from level 1 to level 5. So you just need to know more than the people that you're helping. You don't have to be the best person in the industry. Everybody's always learning, everybody's always growing, and that is the process. But the reason people might want to work with you is just because they like your vibe. At the end of the day, people buy from people, right? If somebody, let's say, is watching your content and they're like, I like the way this guy speaks, I like the way he talks about the concepts, and I like him and I believe that he could help me out. I don't care if this is the person who's been in the industry the longest or not. I'll buy from that person just because they say they can get me the result. I believe them and I like them. Okay? So you don't need to be an expert. You just have to be better and know enough to help the people below you. So if you're at a level 5, you can help somebody at level 1 get to level 3 or 4 or maybe 5. And in that time, you might become a level 7 because you're constantly growing too. You're constantly getting better. And that is how we scale and we grow and we evolve as people and as coaches. Now, the second limiting belief is people tell themselves, I don't know how to I don't know how to coach. And this one, I get it. When you're starting something brand new that you haven't done before, it's scary and you're not confident that you're able to do it. But there are so many ways around this, and this should not be a reason for you to not do something that you want to do in life. Fear should not be the thing that holds you back, because acting in the presence of fear is courage. And that's what any successful person has. They have the courage to overcome the fear. It's not that they aren't afraid. It's not that they live without any fear of anything. It's that they are afraid just like everybody else, but they still go after what they want. And that's what you need to be successful. And just like anything, you're going to learn how to do it as you do it. When you were learning to ride a bicycle, you probably fell off a lot of the times. And you started off with training wheels, and then you got the training wheels off, and maybe you crashed into some trees or, scraped your knees and your elbows, but you learned how to ride a bike. Same thing when speaking English. You didn't know how to speak English when you were little, but you learned from your parents, you learned from people around you, you learned by speaking with other people, and that's how you develop your skills. So you will learn how to coach if you want to learn how to coach. And I guarantee if this is something you're interested in, you have a genuine desire to help people, you at least have some of the basic skills. If you can communicate, if you have some empathy, and you've already made some progress in the niche that you want to help people with, there's going to be some people out there that you can help. And if you don't, another thing you can always do that's a shortcut to becoming a great coach is learn how to coach from other people who've already done it. Invest in coaching for yourself. Invest in mentorship, because that's just like I said, it's just a shortcut. It's a cheat code. There's the long way, and then there's the shorter way that you get to learn from other people's mistakes who have already been where you want to go, and you don't have to make those mistakes yourself. Now, obviously, that requires some investment. So if you have it, it's a great way to do it. But if you don't have any money to start up front, you can just put in your time and put in the work, and you will learn how to coach. Now, the third mistake that people make is telling themselves that I need a huge audience if I want to make any money. Now, I'm going to start by just saying this is false. All right, this is something people believe because they haven't actually learned about how things work. Right? When I started, I had 0 followers. I started all my social medias from scratch. I had 0 followers everywhere, and I made $5,000 in 60 days. Okay? Now, I'm not saying everybody is going to do that, but what I want to illustrate is that there are ways to make money even if you have no following. So you do not need a huge audience. Some of the people I know, some of my mentors who are doing $1 to $2 million a year, they get like 500 views on a video. So they're not getting 100,000 views, 1 million views on their videos. You can run an entire business off of a small audience that you grow over time. And in the beginning, you can even make $5,000, $10,000 a month with no audience. It is possible. So don't believe that you can't do it if you don't have followers. There are ways, you just have to learn them. The fourth mistake I see is that people don't start because they say, I don't know what to sell, how to get clients. Now, I want to say that this is kind of similar to point 2, I don't know how to coach. Nobody knows what they want to sell or how to get clients when they start, but you can learn. Figure out what to sell. Just figure out, what do people need? What do people in the niche I'm interested need? Where are problems that I can come in and solve? Okay? And as far as getting clients, you just ask yourself, where do these people hang out? Is it a certain platform? Is it a certain place in my community, at a club? Is it the grocery store? Is it the pet store? Where do these people hang out? Can I get in front of them? Now, that's a high-level overview of figuring out what to sell and how to get clients. Obviously, it can get more detailed, but if you're just starting out and you don't know where to invest in, just figure that out. And that's already a great place to start. And as you go down the path and you start trying to help people, you're going to figure it out. It's the fear of starting. It's the fear of the unknown that stops people, that limiting belief that stops their inputs, stops their actions, and therefore they never get the outputs, they never get the reality. So do not make this mistake. Do not let this belief stop you, because you can figure it out and you will figure it out if you just start. The next mistake is people really like to believe they need all the fanciest stuff before they start. So they'll say, I need an amazing website. I have to get a beautiful website. I gotta hire a web designer. I gotta hire a branding person to make me the most amazing logos and titles and whatever. You do not need any of that. When you're starting out, all you need is a problem that you can go solve and people to solve it for. That's it. Nobody cares about your website or your branding. What they care about is, can you help them resolve and alleviate their pain? There are a lot of software out there that you can use. Honestly, it's super basic. You do not even need a website. You don't need it. There we go. You know what? Hold on. Let me use my red one. Don't need that. There you go. You can't even read it anymore. You don't need a website. Okay, so the next mistake that I see people make is they believe people won't pay for high ticket coaching. They think when I tell them, you can charge $1,000 at least for your coaching, their minds get blown. Like, I see it on their faces. I see people's eyes like, what? They think high ticket is like $100, $200. Get rid of that belief. People pay $1,000 and up if you can solve a painful problem for them. That's what high ticket coaching is. If people are tired of being overweight or tired of being skinny, they will pay you money to help them lose weight or build muscle. If people are tired of being broke, they'll pay you. Well, if they're broke, that's maybe not always the best niche, but people want to make more money, they'll pay you to show them how to make more money. There are a lot of problems that people will pay high ticket for. You just have to be willing to make the effort to go out and look for those problems, identify them. One, I think at first people genuinely just don't know that it's an option, that you can charge such high prices, like $1,000 to $10,000 for a coaching program. And then once they're aware of it, they believe that, oh, that's too high for me. Like, I don't think I could do it. They don't think they could be a high ticket coach. They don't think they could sell something that would be worth that much money. And these are all mistakes that people make that that prevents them from ever actually starting. They are all limiting beliefs. People pay a lot of money for coaching. I've personally paid 16 grand for a coaching program. Okay? A lot of people pay because they want help. They want you to help them solve their pain, solve their problems. Now, the last mistake I see people make, sorry if I'm blocking it, is if I fail, it wasn't meant to be. Here's the thing about business and entrepreneurship. You are 100% without a doubt going to fail. It's going to happen. And it's going to happen a lot, and it's going to happen frequently. If you're a good entrepreneur, you are going to fail a lot very fast, because that means you're actually doing things, you're actually trying things, and that's when you can start to figure out what works and what doesn't. So if you're afraid of failure, you won't succeed. You have to adjust the limiting belief that failure is a bad thing, because failure is when you learn. It's where you can grow. It's where you're outside your sphere of comfort, and that is where growth happens. So when you're starting out, try things, okay? Don't believe people won't pay. Don't believe, you need a huge audience. Just figure out something to sell. Start trying it. You're gonna fail a lot along the way, and then adjust and keep going, all right? And like I said, if you want a shortcut, you learn from other people's failures, because the successful people have already made all those mistakes. And I've made a lot of mistakes already and I've learned from them. But I also learned from people doing $1 to $2 million a year. So doing like 1 to 300K a month. And I got to get a huge shortcut just because I learned a lot of what not to do when I was starting out. So fail fast, take action, and that is when you are going to build the reality that you dream of. Okay, so I promised you something cool at the end of this video, so here it is. I have a full course called the Six-Figure Coaching Blueprint that is designed to take new coaches from $0 to $10,000 a month, and I'm giving it to you for free. I've mentioned a few times that mentorship is one of the best ways to avoid making a lot of these mistakes in the beginning, and I want to help you out by giving you some kind of roadmap that's going to help you not get lost in all of this right from the start. It's going to give you the proper direction you need to get started, and it's going to help you launch your business a lot faster. You can get it for free by clicking the link in the description below, and I guarantee you that it will help you significantly on your journey and just help you hit the ground running right out the gate. So go ahead and click the link, watch the course, and go crush it. You got this.